That's the magic G chord and the magic C chord. And today we're going to talk about G and C. And I'm going to give a shout out and a big thank you to Guitar Control, because Guitar Control and myself and a lot of other great musicians have done some killer products over the years. And we're still doing stuff right now. So I wanted to let you know that if you dial in GC, that's the code, you go to Jimmy Dillon /store, you will get 30% off all my stuff, all my entire library. So thank you, Guitar Control, and with no further ado, I'm going to give you a little lesson with the GC, standing for Guitar Control, but also the chords G and C. And I really love the G chord. I was telling my partner Jason, George Harrison used to call it the magic G chord, and there's so many ways to play the G chord, but he talked a lot about how he used the G chord, and it can be used in so many ways. I wanted to sort of explore the G chord, and then we're going to go to the C chord as well, which is the 4 to the G. But the G chord, the basic G chord, as most of you know by now, looks like this. You get your first finger on the E3, second finger on the E3, first finger on the A2, and then you have a choice of either putting your third finger on the high E3, looks like that. Another way to do it is like this, where you've got your third finger on the third fret of the low E string, second finger, second fret of the A string, then open, and then the pinky picking up that high G, which is the third fret of the high E string. So that's two ways you can do it, 1, 2. But in my lessons, and a lot of the stuff I've done over the years with Guitar Control and just on my own, I've ended up using this chord, which is like a big cowboy chord. And I think if you don't know it, you'll enjoy it. It starts out the same way, with the second finger on the third fret of the E, low E, first finger, second fret A. And then you tuck your third finger on the B string, third fret, right there, and then get your pinky underneath it, same fret on the high G, or the high E, sorry. It sounds like this. And I mention that because not only does it have a specific sound, kind of a chimey sound, but it also goes really well with where we're going to go next, which is the C chord. And one way you can go from a G to a C, super simple, this is like really, really easy, is just take that chord, right? And now move your first two fingers down one string. Okay, so I went from the E and the A string to the A and the D string. Same positioning though. You see how I'm doing that? And here's what it sounds like when you play them together. Now to the C. So I show you that because I think when we first start playing, it's important to, find a couple techniques that get you going from like a 1 to a 4 chord, in this case a G to a C, and that's kind of the point of this lesson today. But there's many other ways to make a G chord, and I'm going to show you a few right now, and I'll show you a couple what I do with my licks. So I'm going to play a little bit from the G to the C, the G to the C, back and forth. And first I'll start out ever so simple, and then I'm going to play a couple little hammer-ons and things that you can go back and check out if you want to. So here we go. To the C. Doing a nice easy strum with a pick. Okay, so now that you've got that down, what's he doing there? That's called a pickup. So what I did a pickup with open E string. I went and landed right on that magic G chord, okay? That's a really simple way to do an intro to a song or just a passage or whatever. That's really pretty easy. So you got your open E, first finger, second fret, and then land right on that G chord. So slow motion. Okay? Now the move to the C chord is exactly the same move. That's why I like this exercise. You're using the A string, open A, and land on that C chord. It's like a C9 or something. And I want to look up, what is that? Is that a C? The C with a D, it's a C.
I'll put it overlay.
You'll put it over, it is, yeah. It's not exactly a C, but I like this exercise. This is cool. So one more time I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to show you some little hammer-ons. That's cool. So we're exploring the G and the C chord only today. I want to keep this really simple. G standing for guitar, C standing for control, guitar control. Thank you, guys. Right on. So here it goes again. Up to the C. So you see how I'm doing exactly the same move. Little pickup, right? It's almost like a song in itself. That one I stuttered. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with a couple little hammer-ons, and I think you'll be able to grok this. So I'm doing this, I'm not doing any set pattern, I'm doing it randomly. What I'm doing though is I'm taking that G chord, see, and I'm hammering on the D string. It goes really well with what we're doing. All that stuff. So I'm basically working off of the A and the D string and picking up the G as well. So this particular way of doing the G chord, I think works well because it gives you the freedom to do these moves, which is. See? And hammer on. Real simple. And then you can also walk it down. So you'll see with just those two chords, I'm getting a lot going, and there's a million songs that have been written with those two chords. Not only the George Harrison Magic G version, but songs like Free Fallin'. Has a 5-chord in it, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to stay with the G and the C because that's what this is about. So before I leave you, I'm going to show you another way to do a G chord. So we've talked about this one, and this one. They're all very similar, but they have slightly different tones. We like this one because it gets us from here to here with very little, almost no effort. No matter what level you're on, you should be able to do this. And then also the walk-ups are the same. And that gets you playing right away. So if you can get your right hand going with a real simple strum drang pattern, kind of a country thing. You don't have to do it perfectly, just put your hammer on. About this, and I think the reason that George Harrison called it the Magic G chord is because it's got so many open strings. G just, harmonics, all kinds of stuff. So lastly, I'm gonna leave you with a really cool little lick that the Grateful Dead made famous, which is. So that utilizes that very same. I'm working off the 2nd fret and 3rd fret of the A string, and then open D, and come down on that Magic G chord. so on. So that just gives you an example of all the different things you can do with the G and the C chord, and there's many others, and I'll play out with something a little more complicated, but something that you can think about as we go. The magic G chord. We'll see you down the road.